Hey guys, Andy here, and I'm here to bring you all things mundane and makeup related. If that's your vibe, I'd love it if you would subscribe to be part of my little slice of the internet. Today's video is going to be neutrals with a pop of color. I have 12 eyeshadow palettes from my collection that are like 90% neutrals with a pop of color. I saw Dub's Beauty Diary, DW, my very good friend down here, do this video, and I was like, ooh, I like that. So if you want to see what palettes, and I'm ranking them as well, then let's go ahead and get on into it. So again, like, we just normally see colorful palettes with a pop of neutral. Like, I feel like that's way more common. But neutral palettes with a pop of color, I don't have as many. Which I will be doing the opposite. I will be doing the colorful palettes with a pop of neutral as well. But that's going to take a minute because that's a lot. But I have 12 palettes because the thing is, neutrals, true neutrals are going to be your browns, your taupes, your grays, your blacks. But a lot of people, some yellows are neutrals for a lot of people. Some mauves are neutrals for a lot of people. I didn't do that for this video just because I wanted to do like true, like mostly brown. I think I only have one like grayish palette. Everything else it's brown. That's the neutrals we're going with. So to start off in number 12, these palettes that are ranked at the end are because I haven't put them on the eyes. I've only swatched them. And we'll do some swatches. I'm not going to swatch every palette, the whole palette, because that's a bit ridiculous. But we'll swatch some things from each palette. So in spot number 12 is my newest palette out of all of these. It's the Laura Geller Wildflower Wishes, which I love this packaging so much. So now color story, it looks like this. So like, we have a lot of brown, but we have a pop of orange and a little bit of a pop of green. So the shimmers in here are very shiny. Let's do Sunflower and Bee Balm. Like, the shimmers are so beautiful in the swatch. Like, look at that. Because I've never tried a Laura Geller formula. I really want to try that, like, baked eyeshadow formula. Like, that's what I want to try. But these mattes, they're soft, they're buildable in the swatch. Like I said, I haven't tried this on the eyes. Let's do the pop of color, and the real pop is this orange, which is Tiger Lily. And let's do Marigold, which is just a nice tanny brown. And like, they have pigment, but they're soft. And the lighter you go, the more you really have to build that pigment. Like, Tiger Lily is really nice for how bright it is. I am excited to try this on the eyes. Like, I wasn't excited when I got this palette, but then I swatched it and I was like, oh, okay, my bad. Didn't mean to offend. So that's in spot number 12, because something had to be there. In spot number 11, also haven't tried this palette. I haven't tried the last, like, 6, so sorry. We'll get into my pile of shame after I do my palette declutter. But this is the Oakalon Ethereal Nude. This is a Huda dupe for the Naughty Nude, I believe. One of the Huda Beauty palettes. So this is what the color story looks like. In my opinion, because though I didn't have this Huda Beauty palette, I've had other Huda Beauty palettes. The matte formula is so similar. And so the mattes in here are all neutrals. We have some neutral shimmers. The pop of color here is the like rosy pinks and this like pinky purple. That's going to be the pop of color. Now, like I said, the mattes, let's swatch a dark brown and a lighter brown. I really do think that these mattes are so similar to Huda's actual formula. But the shimmers are not. They're textured shimmers in here, and we even got the weird little, like, cream, but it has the little pigment balls in it. These shimmers are textured, but they're not textured in the same way that Huda's are. So let's swatch this light pink, and let's swatch a neutral. So they are beautiful, but they're thinner. But they're still very pretty in their own right. It's just, you know, as a Huda dupe, I'm just saying, they're different. So, that is in spot number 11. In spot number 10, we have, I'm so ready for fall. This is the Estate Cosmetics Fall Edit Palette, which does look like this. So, we have mostly neutrals. And this is like, it's a reddy brown, so the pop of color is this bright orange. It might be a little bit of this red, but this is the pop of color. They're fine mattes. They're buildable in the swatch. Let's do the dark brown, like they're soft. And let's do the orange. And like the orange isn't even as poppy as like that Tiger Lily shade from Laura Geller, but that's okay. I wish this palette had more shimmers. I understand that it's only an 8-pan palette, but I hate that it only has 2 shimmers, so we'll swatch both of them. I do think these shimmers are nice. They're very textured, though. They don't feel textured in the swatch, but like they feel gritty in the pan. So there they are there. So it's just not a bad palette. Just haven't used it on the face. And that's a me problem. Plus, like, if you haven't noticed by what I'm wearing on my face, I'm not a neutrals person, so the fact that I have all these neutral palettes is a bit wild. Speaking of wild, in spot number 9, that was such a cringy transition. This is the Huda Beauty Wild Jaguar palette. So this is like my only true cool tone neutral palette with a pop of color, because I'm just not as into cool tones if I'm gonna do neutrals, which is wild because I have a more cool undertone, but I don't know, there's something about it. So I love Huda's formula. It's silky mattes, textured shimmers, and so the pop of color here really is these 2 like pinky purples. Everything else is pretty neutral. Let's swatch the black, and let's swatch the light creamy shade. Holy shit, that black is pigmented. So now the cream shade is basically my skin tone, but like that is a super intense black. I was not expecting that. So now for shimmers, let's do this like gold and this like pinky purple. And they're just so nice. So there's the Huda Beauty palette. In spot number 8, is this? No, okay. Spot number 8 we have from Natasha Denona, one of the big ones. So I believe this is one of the $128 ones, but I got it on sale for $69. Yeah, because I got it on sale half off, so this is one of the $128 ones. I hate this stupid thing, and I want to rip it out, but like, then I won't know the shades, and I don't have a label maker to put the shade names on the bottom of the shades, so need a little label maker. But this does have silky mattes, but you'll understand why this is lower. The shimmers are slightly thicker. This is in spot number 7. This is the Natasha Denona Fez palette. This sunset palette, this is slightly thicker shimmers. As you can see, the pop in here is like really this red and yellow. We got a lot of browns and neutral shimmers. So of course we're going to swatch the yellow. And then let's do this brown. Ooh, buddy. That brown looks very orange. I swatched this brown. Apparently I have a package out for delivery. I'm so sorry for that. And then for shimmers, let's do this guy. And let's do this guy. Very orange shimmer. Alright, so that's why this is a number 8, and we'll get into why the other Natasha Denona palette is above it in spot number 7. Let me get these off. So in spot number 7, this is also from Natasha Denona. The Fez palette. Obviously, the pop of color is that pop of blue. This has even silkier matte shades. And that's more of a satin. God, that looks so orange. But I swear. Really does look like a matte, I swear. And that is more of a satin shade. And then I'll swatch that pop of blue. Oh, this white just got me. But the shimmers in this are just, they're thinner than the Sunset palette. And I prefer this formula. They're not as textured on the finger. And then we have that blue. Which her swatches can go for miles. So that is why the Natasha Denona palettes, that's why they are there. I want to get all of the little, they're not little, the Natasha Denona palettes that you can get from Ipsy. That blue doesn't want to come off, and I had it on for all of 2 seconds. Even though all of the other Ipsy ones are neutrals. I don't care. I want them because I love the Natasha Denona palette, like her formula that much. So this is the last palette of the video that I have not put on the eyes. After this palette, everything else I have used. So this is from Wander Beauty. This is their Trailblazer palette. We have a pop of green. Soft silky mattes. These are stunning shimmers, like amazing. Here, let's just do one nice brown. I really like the Wander Beauty formula. I know people get so sick of seeing it in subscription boxes, but everything that I have ever tried from Wander Beauty, I have enjoyed. Like, I don't know why people get so angry. Like, I understand the annoyance of, oh, I see this brand all the time, but it's good. So, in spot number 5, we have from Winky Lux. This is their Latte Kitten palette. It does still slightly smell like coffee. It's almost completely lost its scent, which is unfortunate. I mean, it really did almost smell like more espresso than coffee, but this is what the color story looks like. So we have a slight pop of purple and orange. So it's very soft mattes, like buttery. I have shimmer all over my hand, but you really have to just build them up, everything but that orange. And then the shimmers, they're also just, they're soft. They're more satiny, like they do provide some shine, but compared to like what we just saw with Wander Beauty, they give an older shimmer formula. They give now satin. Like, yes, it's still a shimmer. It is not in the realm of satin, but it's not the shimmer I would want. So that is number 5. And the reason why this is above the other palettes that are beautiful is because I've used it. I wanted to put the palettes that I've used above the palettes that I haven't used, period. Spot number 4, we have the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural Face Palette. So because this has 5 eyeshadows in it, I keep this with my eyeshadows because you can use the blush and bronzer on the face as matte shades. So I don't love the blush or bronzer. I hate the blush, to be honest. The bronzer is workable, but I swirl all 3 shades together, I get a fine shade. It's fine. This blush, so I mix the 2 together because otherwise I can't see either of them really on the face. And it's just like they're already hard panned. This was not worth the money. Like, these shades are fine. This obviously is a pop of pink, but this was not worth the money. Period. I will swatch. We'll give you two cool shimmers. Because, like, yes, they're pretty, but I don't think that the bronzer and the blush are good. So, therefore, I don't really think this is worth it. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of it. Because am I going to reach into this for one of those shimmers? I don't know. And spot number 3, we have from Cab Cosmetics. This is their Day and Night palette. So we really have a little bit of a purpley and then an orange pop. But we've got a lot of neutrals going on. This is a really underrated palette. Mine is pretty old. I'm not going to lie. I've had this because this was a subscription box a while ago. I've had this at least 2 years. So mine's on its way out. But it's still so pretty. And the pigments were more impactful and everything when I first got it. I will say there's a lot of kick up in the mattes, but I don't care about that. Yeah, it's a good palette. I would absolutely, I don't know if I'd go out of my way to buy this again, but like if I got this again in a subscription box, I would not be mad. Because then I could replace that, because that one is old. So, we have top 2 palettes. In spot number 2, we have from ColourPop. We had to have a ColourPop palette in here, and I'm surprised there's only one. But this is the Boudoir Noir palette, which looks like this. So we really have a pop of yellowy green, otherwise. This is what it looks like. I love pressed glitters. So, I know not everybody's a fan. I think ColourPop pressed glitters are some of the best pressed glitters on the market, personally. Also, I think that this is one of the best ColourPop formulas, matte formulas that they've done. Because in their newer palettes, I don't think their formula is as good. Like, I think their older palettes have a totally different formula, and I like it better. But these shimmers, like this one in particular, Good Night, it's gorgeous. But yeah, if you're not a pressed glitter fan, you wouldn't like this palette. You can't get these anymore. They were limited for Christmas release, I believe, because I have the other one as well, but I don't remember. I've had them for like 2 years, I believe. But yeah, since 2022. So that is in spot number 2. So spot number 1, which I'm so happy. This is another pretty cool toned palette. So this is from Delancey, and it is their Gray Smoky palette, which is very gray. We've got a little bit of brown, and then the pop of purple. This is so blendable. So pigmented. We got a swatch of purple. You can get this on Amazon. I talk about it all the time, how Delancey is such an underrated brand. So now, let's do a second layer, just to show you that these are nice and buildable. And then I have to show you this Chameleon shade. So this is Chameleon, and it's kind of like Ice Dream, but I know you're seeing blue, but when I'm looking at it down here, it's purple, which I like, because Ice Dream from ColourPop, a single shadow if you're not aware, it's just blue, so I love that, and it's such a translucent base. This is such a good palette. Love it so very, very much. That is all 12 of my neutral palettes with a pop of color, ranked in order from least favorite to most favorite, based on what I've used. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, what is your favorite neutral palette with a pop of color? I would love to hear it down below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.